And hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is the DUG here once again, and we are back for more football. Football, yeah! If you get that reference, congratulations, you watch a lot of dumb videos on YouTube. But it is the DUG here, and we are back. Of course, Dave should be joining us in a little bit. And if Mr. Jones can get away from MIB headquarters, he'll be joining us as well. But we do have Vibrator with us right now. You know, I know he's boycotting the Bears because of how bad they've been playing. Granted, I still believe they got robbed on Monday night, and I'll explain that a little bit later, and how the NFL has pretty much ruined football this year because of one in particular rule that should have never been passed. And particularly to Mike Tomlin of the Steelers, who's the head coach, can kiss my goddamn fat white 240-pound ass, as far as I'm concerned. But hey, Dave just joined us. So just in time, we're about to start. By the way, if you're just tuning in, as you can see, I have a new avatar. It's not Ratchet from Ratchet and Clank anymore. It is the male lead character from Demon Slayer. And if you don't know what Demon Slayer is, how the hell are you part of this channel? Just let me get this posted real quick before we start.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Bears game though. They're in Mexico.
No, they were in Pittsburgh. Oh, I don't know what they were doing that for some reason. I didn't hear that part. Unless they were just talking about somebody's name, I'm presuming. But before we get to other things... Maybe that's who it was. But that's not the important thing from the Bears-Steelers game that we got to discuss. Because there's one in particular thing that kind of broke the internet and broke sports pretty much Monday, all day Tuesday, and today, unfortunately. So we're going to get to that. But let's do a quick recap of this past week, in case if you need to, just to give you a quick recap. Thursday night, the Colts beat the Jets. Colts are still in the playoff race. The Jets might be needing some help. The Broncos fooled everybody on the planet. And I say that because of the fact of we all thought, everyone here, everyone at ESPN, we all thought, hey, Von Miller's being traded. Broncos defense is going to be terrible. What happens? Broncos defense steps up and punches Dallas in the mouth, but I will explain how Dallas losing that game could be actually a gift in disguise. The Ravens barely get by the Vikings, almost falling into a trap they couldn't walk out of. The Browns win their trap, surprised the Bengals. So a lot of trap games actually came to fruition, and teams who were favored lost their trap game. Dolphins beat the Texans with ease, but it's the Texans. Saints lose to the Falcons, surprising everybody. The Giants beat the Raiders, which, depending on what's going on with the Raiders right now, that's not a surprise at all. The Patriots beat the Panthers. You know, Panthers did get McCaffrey back, but it might be too little, too late. The Jaguars shocked the world, beating the Bills, of all things, giving the Patriots some light in the division. The Chargers beat the Eagles. The Chiefs pretty much just beat the Packers in what was probably one of the, if you love offense, one of the worst offensive games of this week. The Cardinals, with Colt McCoy, who was the quarterback for that game, pretty much made the Niners look like the bitch. And Dave, I'll let you get to that game in a little bit because I know you were watching that. Rams lose to the Titans, so Titans were able to win without Derrick Henry. Unfortunately, I think that might actually hurt the 49ers, because guess who will be making his debut for the Rams on Monday? Von Miller, because Von Miller was out, unfortunately, because he was still recovering from an ankle injury, but he will be playing this coming Monday. God help the 49ers. And then the Steelers, among controversy, beat the Bears, and I'm going to get into that in a little bit as well. I'm sure a lot of people, because it's been pretty much everyone's been talking about it. But for the week, I went 9-5, and I am 85-51 for the season. Mr. Jones, who actually did great this week. He went 10-4 and he's losing 4 games this week. I don't know his season record, unfortunately. But Dave, you unfortunately started the day out Sunday great, and then it took a nosedive, if I remember correctly from what you told me. Dave, hello. Dave, it's your turn. Dave, can you hear me? Over.
Clerk's been pulled his string, he ain't talking.
Yeah, Dave, I'm pulling your string. You need to talk. Over, cat, over. Let him know we can't heal him. If hopefully Mr. Jones can get on as well, we don't know yet at the moment. While we wait for Dave to talk to give us how he did this past week. While we wait for Dave to come back into his headset or something, because I can't hear him right now. Going into some of the games a little bit more detailed, I may as well discuss all the Sunday ones. First, my Cowboys. They did lose to the Broncos, which is very unfortunate. But I think we all may have overlooked Denver because of the fact that they traded Von Miller. They were kind of up and down because they are 4-4 before that game. All the wins came against teams who didn't have a winning record. All 4 of their losses came against teams with a winning record. So Dallas is the first team they beat with a winning record. And I give credit to Denver because a lot of people, myself included, we may have overlooked them. So Dallas losing to them is actually kind of a gift because it brings us back down to earth a bit. And maybe we should have not rushed Dak back because Dak was playing a little bit, did not play well. But hey, because I think this loss actually benefits us, though, because maybe it brings us back to earth a bit. It puts us in a situation that, hey, we're not bulletproof since we did. I mean, winning 6 games in a row, that is great. But I think it's better to lose. And this loss kind of also doesn't hurt us in the sense of the Broncos are an AFC team. If this was an NFC team, I would be a little bit concerned. I know Stephen Smith had his fun and all of that, but I still find it funny. He's given up on his Pittsburgh Steelers, though. You know, they won our money, but we'll get to that later. And Dave, when you come back, let me know. Because I still can't hear you. Ravens and Vikings. Okay, me and Mom watched the end of this because they actually did finally decide to switch the Broncos-Cowboys game to that after a certain point. And we were happy the Ravens won, but man, the Vikings almost walked away with that. That was another game that a team should have won easily and ended up barely winning because of the fact of they were falling into the trap. Luckily, Baltimore was able to get out of it, but Dallas and Baltimore both have a trap game this weekend. A lot of teams have trap games this weekend. Bengals and Browns staying with more trap games. Bengals were favored to win this game because Odell Beckham Jr. got released. But Browns, hey, actually played a hell of a lot better without Odell Beckham Jr. So maybe this is like in the Denver situation. They got rid of a piece and it's actually made them better. Granted, Von Miller is not a problem. He's not a diva. He just shows up and wants to play. I think it was in Denver's case, he was just trying to get ready to rebuild, and Rams just want to win a Super Bowl now, get this one now, because they do have a lot of older veteran players who we don't know how long they're going to be in the league left. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Falcons, congratulations on beating the Saints. Saints look like they're in trouble now, unfortunately due to all the things going on with them. So, God help the Saints, depending what the quarterback situation becomes this week. And ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Jones from MIB headquarters. I am fucking shocked. Yeah, I saw the message, but I already let everyone know how you did this past week, because you got 10 wins if my math was correct. And right now we're just going over the recaps in more detail. I just don't remember your record for the season, because I'm an idiot. No, that's good. That's good. Saints, I wish you luck, though. Yeah, because you... Okay. So that means because if you're down two wins last week, you actually got one more win than me this week, so I'm only leading by a game at the moment. Yeah, so that Titans win helped you pretty much, since you had the Titans. And we'll get into that one in a little bit, but Bills and Jaguars. What the fuck, Buffalo? Out of all the trap games, I thought this was the easiest one that was not going to blow it, and you blew it against Jacksonville. Congratulations. Granted, there was some history made as Josh Allen for the Jaguars did sack and intercept Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. So, a little bit of history there, I guess. But, Bills, not only did you lose to Jacksonville, you have now opened the door for the Patriots to steal the division from you, depending what happens the rest of the way. So the Patriots might make it back to the playoffs. This is not good. Chiefs and Packers. Okay, that game was crap. That was like, I said it earlier, that was a terrible offensive game. Jordan Love looks like a rookie. Patrick Mahomes looked terrible. If it wasn't for the Chiefs' defense, I don't think Packers would have lost that game. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if Aaron Rodgers plays this weekend, because he might get cleared by Saturday. He's got to pass Saturday's test to play, but we don't know if the Packers will put him in, because he's not necessarily able to practice yet this week. They play the Seahawks, who, guess what? Russell Wilson can make his return this week. So that's going to be a very interesting game to talk about later. Cards and Niners, like I said, Cardinals destroyed the Niners with Colt McCoy as the Cardinals quarterback, of all things, with 12 penalties, while the Steelers were only hit with 5. So a little bit of unfairness, in my opinion. You could tell the refs are kind of, helping the home team a bit. Usually that happens, but usually they try to keep the flags a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for, close. 12 flags for the Bears, 5 for the Steelers. Yeah, that's a 7-flag gap, and all the Bears flags totaled about 110 yards. The Steelers flags only equaled about 30. So, yeah. Now, the flag in question that cost Chicago, and everyone's going to say, oh, it didn't, but if you think about it, it did. Bears defense gets a sack on Big Ben. The guy does his celebration, taunting. It looked tame. He didn't really look at the Steelers bench to me. He didn't look at the punter. When he's leaving, the ref gives him a hip check and then throws the flag for taunting. If that flag never would have been thrown, the Steelers would have had to punt instead of getting an automatic first down, which gave them enough room to get a field goal. Which, how everything turned out, the Steelers were able to win because of that, because then the Steelers were able to, once they got the ball back out to the Bears touchdown, were able to get down the field and get another 3 points to take a lead again. Personally, I hate this taunting rule. I think it's a joke. Taunting is a part of football. It's a part of life. Anywhere you go, you will be any job or any kind of factual life, you will be taunting somebody, either because of A, you beat their ass at a sporting event or did something awesome in a game, like football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever, or that you got the brand new video game system. I don't know how many people I saw on Twitter and Facebook last year when they got the Xbox Series X or PS5 were taking pictures, doing videos. I think one person actually made love to the box, which that's just fucking stupid. But hey, it's taunting. What are you going to do? And even in life, if you make more money than somebody else, some people will taunt their money at you. And the NFL is now like, oh, we got to be stand-up role models and get rid of taunting? How about instead of getting rid of taunting, how about we, I don't know, stop drafting players who shouldn't be allowed in the NFL because of their stupidity? And I say that because of the Raiders, which we'll get to in a minute. But, Mr. Jones, did you see the flag in question and all that broke down from it? Or Dave, or Vibrator, did any of you three see that flag and what happened? Exactly. Now, that gives me to... Because even Stephen A. Smith and me, this is one of the few times me and him agree, which is shocking, I know. He hates the rule, and he believes the ref should be suspended or fired because of the hip check. But you had people like Keyshawn Johnson defending, and the Steelers head coach defending, saying we need to get rid of taunting. Taunting's should not be allowed in the NFL. But here's the problem, guys. And maybe it's just me. Couldn't you say that a touchdown celebration is taunting? Because you are taunting the other team because they didn't stop you from getting a touchdown. Which is kind of odd because the NFL is like a touchdown celebration's not taunting. But if you think about it, it really is, isn't it? But they won't throw the flag for that. So it's kind of like NFL. Your rule's kind of broken in a way. It's like, oh, if you do a sack or an interception and taunt, oh, you're going to get flagged. If you're near nor there. But let's get to some of the news that broke over the weekend, or when we didn't do our video from last week. First thing first, Odell Beckham Jr. was released, like I said. He has not found a team yet, though, because he could be picked up on waivers on Monday. No teams picked him up. Looks like it's not going to be Tampa Bay. Thank freaking Christ. That would suck. But everyone... Right now, here's the thing. A lot of people, because apparently he was visiting the Seahawks, the Chiefs. My money's still on Oakland because of what happened to them, losing one wide receiver because they cut him because of his stupidity. Also, by the way, the Raiders cut another player from the 2020 draft because he was doing death threat videos, which that's wonderful, isn't it? So a lot of people are saying he's going to go to the Raiders, maybe the Saints. But he wants to play for a team that has a playoff chance or a Super Bowl contention. To me, and Odell Beckham, if you want a chance to be in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl, I would say if you want to be an asshole, go to Baltimore just to piss off Cleveland. But I really see him going to the Raiders, or maybe he might go to the, if he goes to a team in the NFC. Oh, if it'd be the Colts, that'd be fucking hilarious, because I think Tennessee would shit themselves. But I really could see him going to, like, maybe, like I said, my two favorites for him at this point would be the Raiders for the AFC. If he goes to an NFC team, I'm going to say Seattle or Green Bay. Because you know Aaron Rodgers is probably saying, hey, you want to make me happy, want me to stay another year? You already got me calm, now get me Odell Beckham Jr. But we'll see what happens. He's not been assigned yet as of this stream. By the way, running back for the Vikings, Darian Cook has allegedly assaulted a woman, from a suit says. So I'm bringing that up right now. So it looks like, I'm going to say this, can't these freaking football players just stop being stupid? You make a lot of money. Come on now. Which I'm going to say this, and this gets me to the Oakland thing a bit. Well, I keep saying Oakland, but the Raiders. You drafted two players from the 2020 class who, guess what? They got cut within a matter of a week and a half apart. Of course, the receiver who got cut because, you know, the car accident and everything, which he's going to jail for a long time. you know. But then you have the cornerback D. Flower, and Jets are getting back offensive lineman Connor McDermott. Now, you're looking at the real deal now. Woo! Too bad I play for the Jets. Shit. Now, also today, the Packers were fined $300,000 by the NFL for COVID violations of the NFL and NFL Players Association. And Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard were each fined $14,650 for not wearing masks and also breaking COVID protocols. But here's the funny thing. Somebody needs to explain this to me. CeeDee Lamb was fined $20,000 for having his jersey untucked last week. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, you heard that right. He was fined $20,000 for having his jersey untucked. But Aaron Rodgers gets fined only $14,000 for ignoring COVID protocol. Apparently the NFL, we want to get rid of taunting. We want our players to have mores. You can do that, NFL, but I'm sorry, if they weren't raised with mores or dignity, they're not going to magically get them now. I'm just saying. And I'm sorry, I remember when I played football, I never had my jersey tucked in because it always just get untucked during the game. So it's like, what's the point? Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool, his toe injury is not considered season-ending. There was some fear of that originally, but he's now considered week-to-week, sources say. May miss some time, but he will be back. Also, Jets head coach Robert S., who used to be the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, announced QB Mike White will start Sunday against Buffalo. Also, Bucs head coach Bruce Arians was asked today if Tampa Bay would pursue Odell Beckham Jr. He said, "No, too many letters. Already got AB. I don't need OBJ."
I'm back, sorry.
Welcome back, Dave. Also, a kicker... Oh, no problem. A kicker change in Washington also happened yesterday, as the Washington football team has signed kicker Joey Style to the 53-man roster and waived kicker Chris Blewett. Oh, that'd be funny. But no. Also, Jets have placed... Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can see that too. Jets placed safety Marcus May and tight end Tyler Croft on injured reserve. So there is that. Now, of course, before we get to the college, because we're saving college for the end, Dave, how did you do this past week?
Really, Doug?
Well,
Really?
you know I always ask you.
Yeah, I had 4 wins and 10 losses this week, so I'm 4 and 10.
And how are you for the season?
Can I rant about something? Oh, 60 and 59. Can I rant about something?
I'm going to let you rant about the Niners.
How the fuck did we lose to a backup quarterback named Colt McCoy, who sucks ass, and they didn't even had DeAndre Hopkins, JJ Watt, fucking... How the fuck did we lose to that? Come on, really? Dumbass, yo, how do you lose to a guy named Colt McCoy? Come on now, he's a backup for a reason.
Yeah, but he's a good backup because apparently last year he backed up some team and they won a few games with him. So maybe.
Hey, at least he did better than the Cowboys, though. At least we got more points, right?
I already said how the Cowboys did. We fell into the trap game against Denver. We all thought that Denver was going to be terrible because Von Miller was not there no more.
You said that.
I wasn't the only... No, you didn't disagree with me because you had Dallas winning as well.
True. So they were doing good. Like, everyone didn't ever had the Rams winning the Titans.
Yeah. What? Colts won. Like I said, because Dave, you were gone and Mr. Jones, you weren't here yet. The only ones who won their trap game last week were the Colts, the Ravens, and Yeah, that was pretty much it. Those were the only two teams who won their trap game because Cowboys lost their trap game, Bengals lost their trap game, Saints lost their trap game, Bills lost their trap game. Okay, Raiders lost their trap game, so there was another loss for the people who don't know what the trap is, which I'll explain again in a minute. Because some people, Matthew and one group of men, he doesn't know what a trap game is. I'll explain again later. Rams lost their trap game. The Steelers should have lost their trap game. So yeah, trap game.
They should have, but they should have. But they're like, no, like the taunting and the fucking ref checking and like, come on, yo.
Oh, I already discussed that. So. I know, but I'm bringing up ESPN right now so we can look at the point spreads for this week. Now, of course, with that being said, Colts do have a chance to do some things this week if they can win out and get some help by the Titans losing to the Saints. We'll see how that goes, and we're also going to go over the divisional and playoff seedings at the moment because they do matter. But I will say this, one of the teams that benefited the most from this past week was actually the Buccaneers because of the fact of everything went their way. The teams they needed to lose ended up losing all but the Cardinals. So Tampa Bay can now get back into that hunt for the number 1 seed.
Man, fuck the Cardinals.
But let's take a look at the standings right now in the NFL before we get to the picks real quick. Of course, these standings are brought to you by no one because I am not officially sponsored yet, technically.
I'm sending that thing out to you next week, the 15th. So.
Hopefully it gets to my house before I move. Let's hope.
Oh, when you move next month?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll tell you off stream what's going on. Right now I'm just trying to get the standings to come up on my phone because
I'm a Christmas card too, so I'm going to do address anyway. So I can get a Christmas card too. So.
Yeah, we'll probably be having a PO box. Sorry guys, my phone is moving a little bit slow today. I blame Canada.
College basketball match last night.
Which, you know what? Thank you for reminding me of that. I didn't get to watch that last night, and I do apologize for no stream last night because I took my mom to the doctor because she had something. She has like a hole going where her stump is. Remember, she's a below-the-knee amputee. We get there at 12:30 p.m. We're thinking, okay, we're only going to be there a few hours. It's a slow day. We didn't get out of the ER till 10:30 at night. And we stopped at Sheets, so because there was nothing open at that point. So by the time we got home, it was about almost midnight. So it's like, fuck it, I'm too tired to stream. I just want to get home, eat, and go to bed. So that's why there was no stream last night. I do apologize for that. And of course, the ESPN says, "Oh, we can't find your phone device." ESPN, we're broken. So I didn't get to see all the basketball games. I do know who the top 4 were in college football, so I do know that. By the way, I hope everyone's having a good day. If you're still here with us, thank you so much. I will point out while I'm bringing this up, I will not be streaming this weekend because I got to do some packing and I got to let shit update. That's why there's no Madden game this week because it's got a big-ass update.
I'm waiting for Grand Theft Auto, but I'm flipping to my Xbox lately. So I've been playing, I've been downloading Grand Theft Auto 3 San Andreas.
Fuck Grand Theft Auto. Saints Row's better.
Hey, I got my Xbox One and I got my PS4, so I'm going back and forth on that.
Fair enough. Alright, so here are the playoff standings right now. Remember, the top 7 teams make the playoffs. In the AFC, the number 1 seed is the Tennessee Titans at 7-2. The 2nd seed is the Baltimore Ravens at 6-2. The Chargers are the 3rd seed at the moment, 5-3, and the 4th seed is the Buffalo Bills at 5-3. Your wildcard teams for the moment in the AFC. Number 5 are the Raiders with a 5-3 record, the Steelers with a 5-3 record, and the Patriots with a 5-4 record as they hold the tiebreakers over Kansas City and Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Denver due to tiebreaker situations. But teams that are still in the hunt, Kansas City, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Denver are all 5-4, but they need some help. The Indianapolis Colts are still alive in the playoff race at 4-5, but they need some major help. Either the Titans start losing, or a lot of teams ahead of them in the wild card start losing. Jets and Jags, who somehow won. They're still in the playoff race, but they need to win out and get a lot of help. And then Miami, they got to win out and pray for a miracle. Houston, have fun at the golf course because you are eliminated. In the NFC, we're going to the end now. Arizona is still the number 1 seed at 8-1, followed by the Packers at 7-2. Tampa Bay is now the 3rd seed because Dallas lost this past weekend, but Dallas is still the 4th seed at 6-2. Rams are the 5th seed at the moment at 7-2. Remember, wild cards don't get a home game. The Saints are the 6th seed at 5-3, and Atlanta, because of their victory, now on the 7th seed at 4-4. Teams still in the playoff hunt at the moment in the NFC. Carolina, who's 4-5. The Vikings, Seattle and 49ers, who are 3-5, but Minnesota has the tiebreaker over them at the moment. Philadelphia, Giants, Chicago, 3-6. They are still in the hunt, but they got to win out and get some help. Washington's 2-6. They need major league help. And Detroit, well, Detroit's 0-8. They ain't doing a damn thing. Detroit and Jacksonville, Detroit and Houston are the 2 teams eliminated at this point. So let's get to the picks now for this week. And of course, we start with the Thursday night game. It is the 6-2 Baltimore Ravens taking on the 2-7 Miami Dolphins. This game is at 8:20 on Fox. Baltimore is favored by 7.5 points. Now, of course, they are playing in Miami. Baltimore is favored by a touchdown and a half. Now, here's the thing. Ravens almost fell to the trap last week against Minnesota. This is another trap game for them. If they can win, they'll help them in their division. If they lose, they're kind of in trouble because the Steelers have an easy game this week with the Lions. Browns play the Patriots, which is kind of a toss-up. And because I did forget to mention this, the Bengals are off this week. As a matter of fact, the Bears, Bengals, Giants, and Texans have a bye this week. So if you have them on your fantasy league, take care of it.
Not all the bye all the teams have, there's still more.
There's still a few more buys. The last bye week's in week 14. Dolphins kind of need this one to keep their hopes alive. It is a short week for both. If I recall, I believe both teams had Baltimore is traveling because they were at home, but Dolphins didn't have to leave Miami, so this kind of helps Miami in the sense they didn't have to travel. Baltimore short week, they had to travel. This is a trap game for Baltimore, but I'm taking the Ravens here, guys. I just think they have too much talent offensively. Miami's not looked like the team we thought they were going to be in the preseason. That looks like a playoff team. They have pretty much disappointed a lot of team fans and predictors out there. Give me Baltimore on the road tomorrow night.
Let's see. Well, I wrote down this earlier, but I had them pick in an upset over Ravens, but I'm switching my pick now to the Ravens over Fins.
Alright, so Dave is switching his pick, which you can do that because once we get past the game, you can't switch. So
it's not fit till after. It's not fit till you put the pick down. So yeah.
Pretty much. All right, Mr. Jones, will you be taking Miami in the upset? Or are you gonna stay with us and think Baltimore avoids the trap? Fair enough, so we're in agreement there. Let's see if they avoid the trap tomorrow night. Moving on to another trap game, but this is on Sunday. At 1 o'clock, it will be the Buffalo Bills traveling to the Jets. The game is in New York, but both teams are New York teams. Buffalo is favored by 12.5 points. But here's the problem. Buffalo just lost to Jacksonville. So I'm sure Bills fans are freaking the hell out right now. It was a trap game. You know, sometimes you do lose the trap games. It does happen. But if you're Buffalo, you do not want to lose 2 trap games in a row. And particularly because if you lose this game, the Patriots can steal the division from you. Which is the thing, I'm going to be honest here. Did any of us really think the Patriots could actually steal the division after week 2? That, oh, Bills look so good that the Bills would run away with the division like last year? But Bills need this win, because if they lose, not only does that open the door for the Jets to somehow steal the division, if they get lucky, it opens the door for the Patriots. Jets need this win to keep the playoff dreams alive and stay in the hunt. As much as I think this is a trap game, Bills fans, I think you'll walk out of this trap. You will not be caught in the trap you cannot walk out of this week. Give me Buffalo here. And surprisingly, guys, this is not my lock of the week or upset, because I do have 2 locks and an upset this week, but we'll get to those a little bit later. But give me the Bills to beat the Jets, because this is kind of a home game for Buffalo, so Bills should win this, hopefully.
I got Bills over Jets.
Can you repeat that, Dave? You kind of sounded low there a bit.
I got Bills over Jets.
Alright, 2 for the Bills. So, Mr. Jones, are you joining us with the Buffalo Bills to eat some wings? Or are you going to say the Jets are going to fly like an eagle to their 3rd win of the year? It was a good defensive game, but no offense. Fair enough. Moving on to, guess what? Another trap game. If you can sense a theme here with Sunday, there's a lot of more trap games this week, because this is now the 3rd trap game we're talking about. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road against Washington. Tampa Bay is favored by 9.5 points. I'm going to make this one short and sweet. I don't see Washington, this is a trap game. I don't see Washington doing much. Yes, they almost beat Tampa Bay in the playoffs last year, but I think that was because Washington was going through so many quarterbacks, the Buccaneers defense didn't know who the hell to deal with. Washington's looked like a disappointment, probably one of the bigger shockers in the league, because they was expected to be so good because the defense kind of improved. The offense had a lot of good things going for it, but they've just not gotten off the pot. Tampa Bay's coming off a bye week, so they're going to be healthy. It is in Washington. So the weather, depending how it goes, might play a key factor. But I'm sorry, I got to take the Buccaneers on the road here. Give me Tom Brady and the Bucs.
Okay, this is okay. I want to say the Redskins over the Bucs, but in my universe, that's not gonna happen. So I'm picking the Bucs over the Redskins. Final answer.
All right, so 2 for the Buccaneers. So, Mr. Jones, the ball's in your court again. Are you joining us with the Buccaneers, or are you going to take the Redskins? So, oh wow, our first disagreement, but he is the first one to take the trap team. Now, the next game is actually not a trap game this time, even though some might say it is because of one team's record. But I had to disagree, because if you're 4-4, I don't see that as a trap game for the other team. But it is Atlanta on the road against Dallas. Atlanta coming off a win against the Saints, keeping their playoff dreams in the hunt alive. Cowboys coming off a surprising loss to Denver, but they're still in the division lead at 6-2, since the other 3 teams in the division are not doing well. Dallas is favored by 9.5 points, and this is kind of a revenge matchup for both teams in a way. Atlanta wants revenge because if you remember last year, Atlanta choked that game away, and Dallas were able to win the game because Atlanta completely chokes doing Atlanta things, which Atlanta's done this season as well. Choked games they should have won. They almost choked the game against the Saints last week. Dallas is kind of hoping to get the one offensive lineman back, because apparently they did miss him a lot. Hopefully for the Cowboys, that was just a slip up. Maybe Denver's better than what we thought they were. I'm taking the Cowboys here. I will say this: if Cowboys lose this game, I think they can forget the number one seed at that point. Because you're going to have to win out and then hope Arizona, Green Bay, and the Buccaneers lose twice. In Arizona's case, they would have to lose at least 3 games. Packers and Buccaneers would have to at least lose 2 more, so that may not happen. Atlanta needs this one, but I'm taking the Cowboys. When Dave comes back, we will ask him who he's taking. But, Mr. Jones, who are you taking? You going to ride with Dallas one more time, or are you going to take the Dirty Birds of the South? Fair enough. When Dave comes back, we'll ask him about that pick, because I'm sure my gut's telling me he's probably going to take Atlanta, but the funny thing is, Dave needs the Falcons to lose because it will help the 49ers out. So he's really got to hope. So if he picks Atlanta, he still is going to have to chill them a bit to lose. It's kind of like in the next game. It's the New Orleans Saints on the road against the Titans. Tennessee's favored by 3 points. This is also not a trap game. It kind of feels like it since the Saints have quarterback problems. Here's the thing. If you're the Colts, you want the Titans to lose this game because that helps you in the division. But the question is, can the Saints actually do it? Because they got a great defense, but it's going to be the quarterbacks that decide this game. And, I think the Saints' defense is way better than Tennessee. Tennessee's at home. They've been doing well. Adrian Peterson played okay. Then the other running back played well. The Titans' defense might be one of the most surprising things in the AFC this year. And Mr. Tannehill is playing pretty well again. So give me the Titans at home to beat the Saints. Titans in this one. All right. Speaking of your Colts, they are the next game we're discussing at 1 o'clock. It is the Jaguars on the road against the Colts. This is a trap game. Someone's going to say, well, Doug, the Jaguars are 4-5. Jaguars are 2-6. Colts are 4-5. Colts need this game because if they lose, they may be in trouble in the wild card. Colts are favored by 10.5 points. Now, last week when the Jaguars were playing, I had the Bills winning as my lock of the week, and unfortunately, I lost that game. Colts are, to me, better team, better head coach, but the Jaguars have something I didn't think they would have at this point. They actually have momentum. Defensively. Offensively, I still think they're trash. So can the Jaguars be elite for a second week in a row and actually get a 2-game winning streak going? Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Give me the Colts at home. And by the way, this is one of my 2 locks of the week. I am taking the Colts as one of my 2 locks to win at home. I'm sure Mr. Jones is going, you son of a bitch. If they lose, because you'll blame me. I agree. Yeah. Plus, worst case if Colts win, that keeps them alive in that wild card race in the AFC. Moving on to one of the last two 1 o'clock games, it is the winless Lions on the road against the Steelers. Steelers are favored by 9 points. Lions coming off a bye, but they have not won a game yet. They might have lost during their bye week, who knows. Steelers are coming off a game they should have lost, in all honesty, if it wasn't for the refs being stupid, in my humble opinion. I think the Steelers here, this is probably the biggest trap game of the weekend, because they may be overlooking Detroit, because here's the thing. Next week, the Steelers actually play, now we're just going to jump ahead real quick. The Steelers play the Chargers on Sunday night in Week 11, which is a big game. So the Steelers might be overlooking the Lions this week. If they do, Lions can easily steal this. Plus, if you saw how the Steelers played, they didn't play that well against Chicago. But this is my second lock of the week. As much as I hate doing this, I am taking Pittsburgh here. It's in Pittsburgh again, and after how the refs screwed Chicago, I would not be surprised if we see the refs pretty much do what they do best and do ref ball and try to be the center of attention and somehow cost Detroit the game. So give me the Steelers as my second lock of the week. Same. If it was in Detroit, I would have probably picked the Lions just to be shits and giggles, but unfortunately, it's in Pittsburgh, so we're not that lucky. Now the next game, the last 1 o'clock game, which I will be honest, gave me some hard time, because I had a hard time deciding this one. It is the Cleveland Browns coming off a massive defensive win against the Bengals, taking on the Patriots, who a few weeks ago, we didn't think the Patriots would be in this situation where they could make the playoffs. Patriots are favored by 2.5 points right now. Both teams are 5-4, so whoever wins this has a strong chance of controlling their own destiny in the wild card situation. Just if they don't win the division, but they'll control their destiny in the wild card. Patriots have been playing well with the rookie quarterback. It looks like Bill Belichick may have found the next Tom Brady. God help us all. Cleveland played well offensively without Odell Beckham Jr., but their defense is what really won them that game, just pretty much stopping the Bengals a lot. This one was hard because, both offensive have been doing all right. Defensively, the Browns have been better, but the game's in New England. As much as it pains me to do this, because everybody who knows me knows I don't like picking them that much, I am picking the Patriots to win at home against the Browns. If this game was in Cleveland, I would have picked the Browns, but this is again like in the Pittsburgh situation. This one really came down to who's at home. It sounded like the alarm of death. Hear you thinking, do 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 do. Picking the Browns, alright. Now we get to the 4:05 games, and the first one. The Chargers are at home, but they're in a trap game situation as they do play the 3-5 Vikings. Chargers are favored by 3.5 points. I don't know why people are saying this is a trap game, because Minnesota... Yeah, have we not seen how they've been all year? And I have to thank Mr. Jones for this. And, Rock and Reese as well, because both of them have said the Vikings have been terrible this year, with Rock and Reese even pointing out to me that the Vikings have choked a lot in the fourth quarter. I don't trust Minnesota at this point. I think, I said it all year long, they're a terrible team. Kirk Cousins is a joke of a quarterback. And now their running back is having off-the-field issues. So yeah, I am not taking the Chargers here. Kirk Cousins, I think it's time for you to just I think it's just time for you to realize you're fucked. And I'm enjoying every minute of it, how you can't win a game, or you're blowing games that you have a chance to win because you suck. You suck. You suck. You don't even get the Kurt Angle theme song. No. You don't even get his TNA theme song. You get Jason Jordan's theme song, Kirk Cousins. That's how bad you are. Give me the Chargers at home. Don't blame you there. Up next is the other game at 4:05. And that is, of course, the Panthers on the road against the Cardinals. Cardinals, oh, by the way, if I did forget to mention this, Chargers are favored by 3 points, but the Cardinals are favored by 10.5. This is a trap game because the Cardinals are 8-1. The Panthers are 4-5, and if you don't know what I mean by trap, I'll say it now. A trap game is a game that you should easily win on paper and easily dominate, but you end up blowing it for whatever reason. Either bad luck, injuries, or sheer stupidity. Usually it's all three. Now, of course, the Panthers do get McCaffrey back. Cardinals should have their quarterback back for this week, but if not, their backup didn't play bad this past week against the Niners. Panthers defensively have looked terrible after pretty much their third since Dallas, and McCaffrey's just coming back. He didn't play well last week, and he's going to be going against a Cardinals team in Arizona. That's a good team. Give me the Cardinals here, guys. Panthers just a terrible team. I'm sorry. Alright, now we get to the 4:25 games, because I was trying to jump ahead, because I'm an idiot. It is the Philadelphia Eagles on the road going to the mile-high city of the Denver Broncos. Broncos are coming off a big win against Dallas. Philly's trying to keep their playoff hopes alive with a win here. Denver's favored by 2.5 points. I'm going to say this, that should be way higher between how the defense played against Dallas. Philly's not been really playing that well. So I'm going to have to ask Vegas, were you smoking marijuana when you made this point spread? And to be honest, the only way I see Philadelphia winning this, the entire Denver organization is going to have to smoke a pound of pot each player to lose this. I don't trust Philly. The offensively they've been playing bad. Defensively they've been playing bad. The only thing that may worry me is Broncos, you know, after coming off that high win, your first win against a team with a winning record, you might, you know, fall into the trap game and lose to a team who's not doing well. But, you know, it's going to be a situation. Eagles will be without 2 wide receivers right now. They're all questionable. But if you need any explanation, why, and this just proves my point why I'm also taking the Broncos here. Broncos, where they don't score a lot of points offensively, only 20 points a game, they only give up 17. Philadelphia gives up 24 points a game. So that pretty much there, that has me a little concerned. They don't, if the Broncos defense steps up like they've been doing, I don't trust the Eagles defense to do that because the Eagles give up so much points. So give me Denver at home to win in this trap game. But I trust. Hey, I've said this before. The only team I'm worried about in our division for the Cowboys is the Giants at this point. I'm not worried about Philly or Washington. I know somebody's going to clip that in case Washington or Philly come back and win the division. So moving on to the next 4. Oh, what were you going to say, Mr. Jones? Okay, so that's your upset. Well, this one's kind of an interesting one at 4:25. It is on CBS. The Seahawks against the Packers in Green Bay. Now, Russell Wilson should be coming back this week. It hasn't been confirmed. Aaron Rodgers, we won't know if he's playing until Saturday. So this is a really hard matchup to judge right now. The game is in Green Bay. The Packers are favored by 3 points. Green Bay may have the better defense, but with the quarterback questionnaire going around, this is a hard pick because we don't know who the quarterbacks are going to be. either Seattle's going to have Russell Wilson or Geno Smith, or the Packers are going to have Rodgers or Jordan Love. My gut is telling me even if Aaron Rodgers is cleared to play from the C virus or the T virus, I don't know if he's going to play because he can't practice this week. And I don't know if the Packers would really want to throw him out there with missing a whole week of practice, not being able to practice with the first stringers. Well, so Wilson can at least, if he's been practicing, or at least practices tomorrow or Friday, there's a better chance he'll play. So, this is my upset of the week, guys. I know it doesn't happen that often that Green Bay loses in Green Bay, but I'm going to take the Seahawks to win in Green Bay. Give me the Seahawks on the road as an upset. But But that's the thing in all of this, and that's why I think this is the toughest game, because we don't know the quarterbacks. If we knew the quarterbacks, I think it would make the picks easy. And I will say this: if Rodgers didn't get sick, I think they would have beat the Chiefs last week, and I think they would probably be more favored. But because of what's going on, that's why a lot of people are taking Seattle, because we don't know the Packers situation. Moving on to the Sunday night game, and oh boy. It is the Chiefs on the road against the Raiders. Both teams need this win to keep playoff hopes in sight, because Chiefs are 5-4, Raiders are 5-3. But the Chargers lead that division right now with their record. Where are the Chargers? Are they off this week? No, they're not off. Where are the Chargers? I know we talked about them. Yeah, they're 5-3. Denver's 5-4. So that division's tight. Raiders have been dealing with a lot of off-the-field issues from the last week and this week. The receiver problem in Vegas, and then he had to cut a cornerback because he decided to do a TikTok video threatening somebody's life and holding a gun. Remember, people, don't do stupid shit on video, because it will stay on the internet forever and ever. So Raiders right now on a complete. This is what I thought would happen when they when Coach Gruden left. That would be, they would lose that game, but they won. Last week they lost, and I know most people say it's because they had to travel from Vegas to New York. I think it's because of too much off-the-field drama, and that's what I think is going to hurt them here. Why, yes, the Chiefs offensively are god-awfully fucking terrible. Their defense is playing a little bit better, but with how the Raiders are doing off the field, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to say the Chiefs win on the road and somehow keep their playoff hopes alive for another week. Now, of course, we already know the Monday night game. Dave will be picking the 49ers. But it would be the Rams against the 49ers, the debut of Von Miller. Rams are favored by 4.5 points. Rams coming off a surprising loss to the Titans on Sunday night. 49ers are coming off getting their ass destroyed by the Cardinals. This is a trap game on Monday night. Yeah, they did. Trap game. Niners need this one to keep any playoff hopes alive as well. Rams just want to win this game so they can stay in pace with the Cardinals to try to steal the division. Worst case, they can hold the 5th seed in the AFC and the NFC. I'm taking the Rams here, guys. I think they're going to bounce back. Matthew Stafford's not going to have a bad back-to-back game. That defense is going to have Von Miller now, so the defense for the Rams has not 1, not 2, but 3 MVP players. One of which was a Super Bowl MVP when the Broncos went there a few years ago. Yeah, give me the Rams here. This might be one of those nights I may actually have to watch Monday Night Raw from beginning to end. Yeah, join the Rams today. Fair enough. Now we're going to get to the college playoff and some of the games you need to look at real quick. But of course, the games are being played right now. Toledo beat Bowling Green 49-17. Northern Illinois beat Ball State 30-29. And right now, near the end of the fourth quarter, it is Central Michigan beating Kent State 47-30. Tuesday, Miami of Ohio beat Buffalo. Western Michigan beat Akron. And Ohio beat Eastern Michigan. Now, of course, tomorrow night there is a game, North Carolina at number 21 Pittsburgh on ESPN. But before we get to the other things, let's talk about the elephant in the damn room. The playoff standings were released this past week, so yippee. And oh boy, do I disagree with them. Probably have figured that out by this point. I don't really like the playoff committee at all, because I think the playoff committee is fucking stupid. I'm trying to see if I can actually find the damn thing that actually lets me see who's in the... That's one thing I don't like, that the ESPN does not give you the entire standings, you know. When you pull up, it just puts conference. It doesn't pull up, you know, oh, who's in the... Okay, here we go. Please tell me it does not play a video. I don't need the video. Just show me the news report, you son of a bitch. Remember, children, ESPN, they're fucking retarded. Oh, yeah, really? ESPN, you're not gonna... Okay, maybe you will let me... Okay, I don't want... No, give me what I want, please, thank you. Sorry about that, guys, but sometimes I have to do things beyond my control because ESPN is stupid. That's what I don't get. They don't give you the playoff thing, which kind of ticks me off, more or less. Okay, when in doubt, we're going to use Google real quick to look this up, because ESPN wants to be mentally stupid. So everyone point at the ESPN app and laugh. Good laughter. I give that a solid 9 out of 10. Let's see if this actually pops up. Okay, now it's the AP 25. I don't want the... Maybe the... Okay, yes, I found it, finally. Okay, so here's the top... Here are the top 25 that NCAA voted for. This should be fun. Alright. The Georgia Bulldogs are the #1 seed still, which I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Number 2 now is Alabama, who barely got by LSU. Michigan State dropped out of the top 1, and they were replaced by the Oregon Ducks, who are now number 3. Ohio State is number 4. Cincinnati, who is still undefeated, is number 5, and Michigan's number 6. Which is kind of surprising. And Michigan State is number 7. Oklahoma's number 8. Notre Dame is number 9, and Oklahoma State's number 10. Trying to see if it says anywhere else this week. It's one thing I don't like about ESPN. It doesn't tell me everything I need to know, you fucking assholes. Because here's the thing, guys. The AP Top 25 is different from the college playoff thing. So keep that in mind if you don't know that. Let's see. But But yeah, so here's my thing, guys. My top 4, I base it on record and everything else. Mostly record. So my top 4 for the playoff this week is number 1, it will still be Georgia. Cincinnati's at number 2 in my thing at 9-0. Number 3 is Oklahoma, because they are undefeated. Now, of course, I would love to say the UTSA Roadrunners, but they're not going to make it because, you know, yes, they're undefeated. They play in a conference that sucks. But I am going to put them in my top 4 because, well, they're undefeated. And I'm sorry, undefeated teams, it doesn't matter what conference they're in, should be looked at. Unfortunately, because the playoff committee's like, sorry, if you're not in a real conference, you don't get recognized. And that's one of the reasons why Cincinnati's leaving the conference they're in, because they actually want to get more credibility and everything. And that's what really sucks. If they go undefeated, they will lose. If they go undefeated, they could still miss the playoff, which to me, that's ridiculous. I don't know how you feel about that, Mr. Jones, but to me, records matter, damn it. And hello there who just said, bro, hope you're having a good night tonight. Just finishing up the picks real quick. But here are some other college games you should be looking at. We already just said North Carolina, Pittsburgh. On Friday, number 5 Cincinnati takes on South Florida. And Wyoming takes on Boise State on Friday. So you actually have 2 good games to watch. So you don't have to watch how Roman Reigns how WWE and Roman Reigns bury Xavier Woods on SmackDown. It's like, and I only say that because, hey, he's the King of the Ring winner. But they're probably not going to have Woods beat Roman. You know. Which is ridiculous. Why give him the crown? By the way, the USC California game has been postponed to December because of a T-virus outbreak. Your Saturday games to look at. Maryland will take on number 7 Michigan State on Fox at 4 o'clock. My Fighting Irish take on Virginia at 7:30 on ABC. Alabama plays New Mexico State, who's 1-8. So Cincinnati plays a team with a better win-loss record, but Alabama plays a worse one, but Alabama still get a pass because it's Alabama. Number 6, Michigan plays Penn State. Oklahoma takes on Baylor, which could decide Oklahoma's fate. Let's see. Let's see. Who does Ohio State play? Oh God. Ohio State at 3:30 plays Purdue, who is 6-3. But remember, Purdue is knocked off, has beaten teams who looked like they're going to be in the playoff. So could Purdue do it for a 3rd time in a row and knock a team out of the playoff? We shall see. And of course, your last game of Saturday will be Utah State against San Jose State on FS1. And that's pretty much all that, guys. So if your team plays this weekend, good luck in both college and the pros. Normally I would do another stream back, but I do want to try to get some updating done a little bit while I'm relaxing. So Thursday night after the Ravens-Dolphins, we will be heading back to Devil May Cry. And then, like I said, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be taking the rest of the week off so I can catch up on doing a lot of updating, because Madden's got to update, Rocket, Knockout City, and that other game's got to finish up downloading Spider-Man Miles Morales, because my internet is terrible. But until then, I hope everyone had a good enjoyed all picks tonight. Good luck to your teams this weekend. Next week, we will be doing the picks again on Wednesday as well. As far as for the Thanksgiving games, well, I forgot, we got to do a look ahead. We didn't look ahead to next week, did we? Next week's games. The Thanksgiving's not here yet. That's the week after Week 11. Week 11, your Thursday night game is the Patriots at Falcons. Your Sunday night game of Week 11 is the Steelers at Chargers. And your Monday night game is the Giants at Buccaneers. As for teams that affect us on this broadcast, the Colts will be traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The 49ers get a... Hold on one second. Maybe a gimme game as they play the Jaguars. My mom's Ravens play Vibrators Bears. And my Cowboys travel to Kansas City to play the Chiefs. And then, of course, on Thanksgiving, which is Week 12, Bears at Lions, Raiders, Cowboys, Bills and Saints on Thanksgiving Day. Your Sunday night game will be Browns at Ravens on Week 12, and then your Monday night game, Week 12, Seahawks at Washington, which I will only watch that game if Peyton and Eli are calling it. But until then, everyone have a safe night, a happy weekend coming up, and we will see you guys on this channel tomorrow night after the Ravens-Dolphins for Devil May Cry. Everyone else who just watches this for the football stuff, we will see you next week.